I'm Kylie Bolyard and I'm an art director in Minerva. Today I'll be showing you how to manipulate a figure using the puppet warp tool in Illustrator. So you might be familiar with the puppet warp tool in Photoshop, but the puppet warp tool was introduced to Illustrator in the 2018 update. Now it's super exciting this came to Illustrator because now we have a lot of control with our existing models. Using the puppet warp tool in Illustrator is a great way to add some motion and excitement to your artwork. And the good news is it's pretty simple. I mean, there isn't really too much of a learning curve. So, getting you started, so first thing you want to do is make sure you can see your whole artwork. Okay, so right now you can only see the face of this bear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little artboard tab over here and just click on it once. And that makes it fit all into the window. You can also do that by going to the view. You can go fit artboard and window. Okay, so if you look to the left, right here to this little icon that looks like a thumbtack, this right here is the puppet warp tool. Okay, so that can be different depending on your layout. It can be on the top, it can be on the right, but right now I have mine set to Essentials Classic, and you can change that up there, but I personally enjoy Essentials Classic. So for my character, I pulled off a image of this bear from Free Pick. I have him, I feel like it was a good option just because you can see all of his appendages right there, all of his legs, nothing's crisscross applesauce, it's all nice and out in the open, okay? So this is already all grouped together. I know you can see it's selecting certain things, but I grouped them all together, so he's one solid piece, okay? So I definitely recommend if you have something that is kind of not pieced together like this, like say this arm was separate from the upper arm, I would definitely group the whole arm together, but for my purposes, it's already all grouped together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of move my I'm just going to kind of move my bear around to show you kind of how to use the puppet warp tool, show you what he can do. Now, again, I'd like to reiterate that this tool is great for adding motion. Now, if you're looking to pose your character, let's say I was trying to pose this bear in crisscross applesauce, okay? It's not going to work. It's going to make your artwork extremely distorted. If you want to make your artwork into a certain pose, you need to do that while you're creating the piece, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my bear, okay? Now your puppet warp tool will not work unless you have your artwork selected. Like if I try to choose this, you guys see that little stop sign thing? Yeah, so it's not going to click anywhere, okay? So I'm going to press V to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to select my bear. I'm going to hit the puppet warp tool, okay? So for mine, it already adds anchor points, but I'm just going to delete those really quick just because they're not exactly where I want them to be. To delete anchor points, all you have to do is click on it and you're going to press the delete or the backspace button, okay? So I've got them all deleted, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my anchor points where joints would be, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and press on his wrist, his elbow, and where the arm connects to the body. I'm going to do that on the other side too. I'm going to do his legs, like his knee, his foot, his leg, knee, foot, and then let's see. Maybe I'll do one for his head. Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe one for his body too. Okay. So now that I have all of those together, if you go to your properties thing or your properties channels, so if you want to click right here, it says show mesh. It's going to show kind of this little web that you have going on of all of the ways that your thing can move. Personally, I don't necessarily like it. I think it honestly distracts me because there's so many different lines going on everywhere. So I'm just going to turn that off, but I just thought that would be a good little feature to show you guys. So I'm going to turn them off. So let's see. I'm going to show you guys what it would look like if I was trying to pose him, okay? Like I said that you shouldn't be doing. So I'm going to try to make him sit crisscross applesauce, all right? So knee goes out, foot comes in, all right? Hip opens up, knee goes out, foot goes in. So he almost looks like Buddha, but you guys see how it kind of starts to curve weirdly and how one leg is a lot thicker than the other leg, okay? I just don't recommend posing at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just undo all of that. All right, put him back to his original shape. So let's say I want this man or this bear to be walking a little bit differently. Maybe he's walking a little bit closer. Stretch that back out. So he's kind of walking forward. He's kind of moving his body a little bit. Right, his hips going in. It's going out. Maybe he's waving at me or something. And this hand's going to go down. So you see how his arm is starting to curve unnaturally? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this anchor point. And if you highlight over this, or if you scroll over this little white area right there, and see how it kind of comes up with that turning thing. So you can turn your anchor point a little bit. So I'm going to turn him down. And then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to turn him a little bit too. Okay. It was kind of fun. Maybe raise his head up a little bit more. He's got a big old head. No, we won't do that. We'll make him shorter. Scrunch him in. No, we'll just leave him normal. So you see how it moves your artwork around? Okay. Alright. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's not too difficult. It is a little bit of a learning curve, just a tiny bit. Just learning how to rotate these to make them not look, because now I made them look a little janky because I wasn't really working that well. But it's just a little bit of a learning curve, but it's definitely beneficial to adding some motion to your character. And I would just like to reiterate, so I know I placed them on all the joints, but if you have something more organic, like something maybe flowing in the wind or something, you can place them like however you want, just don't overplace, okay? So yeah, that's my new bear. He looks a little funky, but you know, he's still cute. I hope you enjoyed learning about the puppet work tool today. Thanks for watching.